activities in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle of existence in this material world. Yeah. So, yeah, here in this prayer is Prahlad Maharaj is asking Lord Narsimhadev to kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Yeah, so these all desires in the material world we have, that's creating problem for us. We all facing struggle for existence, and this is the prayer that we do to Lord Narsimhadev. So Lord Narsimhadev can appear in our heart and vanquish all these demon-like desires. So that's my realization, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Jai. Lord Narsimhadev ki jai. Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Srila
Hare
Prabhupada ki
Krishna.
jai. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So that particular verse which you sung is very nice. It doesn't have a meter, Just you spoke it in a particular way,
The prayer, the last one from Bhagavad.
Jase Avirbhava Vajra Nakha Vajra Gamshra Karma Shayan Randhaya Tamo Grasa Om Swaha Abhayam Atmani Bhuishtha Om Shram Om Shram Om Shram. So Shram is a very powerful word. It is just like Om,
Yes.
Like the Supreme Lord Himself. So okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, who would like to go next now?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Amrish Prabhu. Thank you, Purnabandha Devidasi. And thank you, Sri Krishna Sabarpan Krishna Das, for giving me an opportunity to give my realization on this occasion. And thank you, Sanjay Prabhu, for your nice realization. So my realization is actually one of the Srila Prabhupada's lecture from Canto 7, and also from Bhagavad Gita as well. So in Srila Prabhupada says that the fourth incarnation is Narsimhadev, who appeared to save Prahlad Maharaj, who was 5 years old boy, and he was being tortured by his atheistic father. So he appeared from the pillar of the palace as a half man and half lion, because this Hiranyakashipu took benediction from Brahma that he will not be able to kill by any man or any animal. So the Lord appeared neither man or animal. This is the difference. This is the difference of the Lord's intelligence and our intelligence. We are thinking that we can cheat the Lord by our intelligence, but the Lord is more intelligent than us. So this Hiranyakashipu wanted to cheat Brahma by indirect benediction. First of all, he wanted to become immortal. Brahma said, no, that is not possible, because no one is immortal, even I am not immortal. So nobody in this material world is, this is not possible. So Hiranyakashipu, the demons are very intelligent. So he thought in the different way. He asked, okay, roundabout way, shall I become immortal? He prayed to Brahma that please give me the benediction that I shall not be killed by any man or by any animal. So Brahma said, yes, okay, that is okay. Further, he said, I shall not be killed in the sky or on the water or on the land. Brahma said, okay, yes, that is also will be granted. So in this way, he utilized his intelligence in so many ways just to come to the conclusion of being immortal. But the Lord is so cunning that he kept intact all the benediction given by Brahma. Still he was killed. So he said that I will not be killed either during daytime or night. Brahma said yes. And so he was killed just in the evening, just in the junction of the day and night. So you cannot say that it is day or it is night. So he took the benediction that I shall not be killed in the sky or the water or the land. So he was killed on his lap. He took the way that the benedictions were kept intact. Still he was killed. Similarly, we make a plan. We may make very advancement in scientific knowledge, but the killing process of nature will be there. Nobody can escape. By our intelligence, we cannot escape. The four principles of material existence means that birth, death, old age, and the disease. We can manufacture many medicines, many weapons, many means, and many methods, but you cannot escape these four principles by material existence. However great you may be. So that was proved by Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was one of the stalwart materialistic, and he wanted to live forever, and he wants to enjoy, and he could not live. Everything was finished. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4:7 and chapter 4:8, Lord says that yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhitya dhana dharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Further in Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse 8, Lord says that to deliver the pious and inhalate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. So Srila Prabhupada says in purport that a person may appear to be irreligious, but if he has the qualification of Krishna consciousness, wholly and fully, he is to be understood to be a sadhu. And Dushkaram applies to those who do not care for Krishna consciousness. Such miscreants or the Dushkratam are described as foolish and the lowest of mankind. Even though they may be decorated with mundane education, whereas the person who is in 100% engaged in Krishna consciousness is accepted as sadhu. So Srila Prabhupada also further says that Lord says that he incarnates himself in every millennium. This indicates that he incarnates also in the age of Kali, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the incarnation of the Kali age of Kali is the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who spread the worship of Krishna by the Sankirtan movement. That is congregational chanting of the holy name, and spread Krishna consciousness throughout India. He predicted that this culture of Sankirtana would be broadcast all over the world, from town to town and village to village. So in Canto 7, Srila Prabhupada advises that, mentioned here that we have to hear and talk about Krishna, Vishnu, Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam, to remember him always, to worship his lotus feet, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, temple worship, to keep the deity nicely worshipped, offer footstep, Arti, and that is called Archanam, Vandanam, offering praise, just like what we pray, that is Govindam Adipurusham Tam Aham Bhajami. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse 29, in translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A person in Krishna consciousness, of a person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor of well-wishers of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. So here Srila Prabhupada says that they do not know the formula for peace, which is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. The greatest peace formula is simply this: the Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities. So men should be offer everything to the transcendental service to the Lord, because he is the proprietor of all planets and demigods thereon. So no one is greater than him. He is greater than the greatest of the demigod, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in one of the lecture that one may ask why highly educated person do not take the Krishna consciousness. The reason is explained in this verse: unless one take the shelter of bona fide, fully Krishna consciousness spiritual master, there is no chance of understanding Krishna. The educators, the scholars, and the big political leaders worshipped by millions of people cannot understand the goal of life and take the Krishna consciousness. For they have not accepted the bona fide spiritual master and the Vedas. Therefore, in the Mundaka Upanishad, it is said that one cannot become self-realized simply by having an academic education or by presenting lectures in the erudite way. By being an intelligent scientist who discovers many wonderful things, but one cannot understand Krishna unless one is graced by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only one who has surrendered to the pure devotee of Krishna and taken the dust of his lotus feet can understand Krishna. First one understand how to get out of the clutches of Maya. The only means is to become Krishna consciousness, and become Krishna consciousness very easily. One must take the shelter of realized soul of Mahatma. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had instructed all the devotees of the Lord to be humbler than the grass and more tolerant than the trees. Otherwise, there will be always disturbances to their execution of devotional service. So here is the example how the devotee is disturbed by non-devotee, even though the non-devotee is an affectionate father. The material world is such that a non-devotee father becomes an enemy of a devotee's son. Having determined to kill even his son, Hiranyakashipu gave the example of amputating the part of one's body, and that has become septic and therefore injuries to the rest of the body. The same example, of course, may be applied here for to the non-devotees. Chanakya Pandita advises that to be too attached to material existence is ignorance, because material existence is temporary and miserable. Therefore, devotees who are determined to perform tapasya, to realize the self, and who are determined to become advanced in spiritual consciousness must give up the company of atheistic non-devotees. Prahlad Maharaj maintained an attitude of non-cooperation with the philosophy of his father, Hiranyakashipu, yet he was tolerant and humble. Hiranyakashipu, however, being a non-devotee, was so polluted that he was even prepared to kill his own son, and he justified by putting forward the logic of amputation. Hare Krishna, my realization.
Okay, thank you, Savan. Hare Krishna. Yes, who would like to go next now? Thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Sanjay Prabhu and His Grace. Sopan Prabhuji, for your very nice realization, and thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhu, for organizing this wonderful program on the Appearance Day of Lord Narsimhadeva and giving us opportunity to share our realizations. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya. Namaste Jasate Jasa Avirbhava Vajnaka Vajdamsha Karma Shayan Randhaya Tamo Grasa Om Swaha Abhyamatmani Bhuvishta Om Sham Abhyamatmani Bhuvishta Om Sham Om Sham. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Narsimhadev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses the nails and teeth just like a thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. Jai. Jablu Shri Prahlad Narsimha Bhagwan ki Jai. So today we are celebrating the appearance of Lord Narsimhadev, and actually we are meditating on Bhagavad Gita verses, and try to actually explain the qualities of Lord Narsimhadev and also uh, Prahlad Maharaj, his greatest devotee. So, as we know, we cannot glorify Lord without his devotee. So, Prahlad Maharaj, is the very important devotee. He's a Mahajan, and we also cannot glorify a devotee without the Lord Narsimhadev, who actually appeared just for the protection of his very devotee Prahlad Maharaj. So in Bhagavad Gita, it's chapter 9, verse 29. Sammoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshosti na priya ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapyaham. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So it's a very important Bhagavad Gita verse, and as I was meditating on the pastimes of Lord Narsimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj, it stands out uh, the instruction given in this verse, and the way actually, because it always appears that actually Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu, he may appear partial, because there are many pastimes mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam where there is a constant struggle between actually the demons and the devatas, and as we know, in the end, always devatas they win, So we may think that actually Lord Vishnu is a bit partial towards devatas, but that's not like that. Because as Krishna is clearly says here, he's actually equal to everyone. He's not partial. So here, actually, even Prahlad Maharaj, who's born in among the Daityas, his father Hiranyakashipu is the greatest asura. He's actually referred as Asurivar, the best among the demons. So even Prahlad Maharaj actually born among actually Daityas, he become a topmost devotee, he become a Mahajan. So where actually many places mentioned, actually Krishna always gives equal opportunity to everyone. So we have to actually use that opportunity. And Prahlad Maharaj, even he's actually born among the actually all the Daityas, actually literally there are no other devotees, around him. He was surrounded by all the demons, asuras. So he, in one way, he do not have any satsang, good association. But that did not actually impact, his devotion at all. He was very much firm, you know he was actually very strong in his devotion. He has to go through many difficulties. As actually it is very nicely described in Srimad Bhagavatam. So actually that reminded me, actually how one should be very sincere and very firm on this path of actually bhakti yoga, or the loving service unto Lord Shri Krishna. So there's a very nice verse, in chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita, verse 41. Vyavsayatmika buddhir ekeha kuru nandana bahu shaka hi anantasya buddhayo vyavasayinam. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose. Their aim is one. O beloved child of Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So I was meditating on this point because Prahlad Maharaj, is a greatest example. He has set before us that actually how one should be actually resolute, on the path of the bhakti. If you actually sit back and think that actually the condition of Prahlad Maharaj, that actually he's born among the, actually, as I said, among the Daityas, the Asuras. He wasn't in the association of great devotees, because when we actually, actually start on this path, we're always taught that actually the sadhu sangha is the most important one. So Shraddha is there, but next thing comes is sadhu sangha. Unless we have a good association, it's very hard to become a devotee. But Prahlad Maharaj was actually born among all the actually non-devotees. Literally, they used to actually, most of them, they hate Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. His father Hiranyakashipu, he was the greatest asur, and he wanted to actually avenge the death of his brother Hiranyaksh. So, and actually, when Prahlad Maharaj was born, when he was very small, 5-year-old, and he was actually sent to the Gurukul by his father. And he's actually, the gurus are actually Shandan Amark. So they are the sons of Shukracharya, and they are not actually teaching him there the practices of devotional service, but actually they try to teach him all the materialistic activities, dharma, artha, kam. But Prahlad Maharaj, where he was situated, actually he was above that, dharma, artha, kam, moksha. Even above the moksha, he was at the prem bhav stage. So how it is possible, actually I was meditating on that point. That actually even living among the actually non-devotees, and he was very firm in his devotion. So this verse, he said that those who are very resolute in their purpose, their aim is one. So Prahlad Maharaj never deviated from this path. He's been actually taught, all the materialistic things. He's been actually taught the actually dualities of this material world, how to become a king, how to actually become a diplomatic, So all those things, but he realized, because he has already heard the Srimad Bhagavatam from his actually real guru, that is Narad Muni, when he was in the actually, before he born, actually he was actually heard all that, and he know that even actually when he's born, his actually gurus are Shandan Amark, but he always remember Narad Muni. That was his real guru and his instructions. And when he was being taught all these materialistic things, he always remember, my Gurudev said this and that, and now I can practically see these people are trying to teach me the same dualities. So he did not actually accept any of those instructions, he rejected them. And as we know, this actually wonderful Leela that he has been actually through many difficulties, that his own father tried to kill him in many ways. He's been actually tried to kill by various weapons. He's been actually thrown from the top of mountain. He's been given the poison. He's been thrown in a pit of big venomous snakes. He was actually tried to be trampled by the big, mad elephants. So if you go through, all that list, and it's not just like in few days, actually they've been trying to kill him for many days, one after another. But because he was very strong in his devotion, actually Lord Vishnu always protected him. So he did not actually deviated from his path. He's always meditating on Lord Vishnu constantly. So as it says, those who are resolute on this path, in their purpose, their aim is one, and his aim was only one, to actually serve Lord Vishnu, and he did that very well. So his intelligence is not many branch. He was fully focused. He has only one goal, and he has a firm faith that actually his Lord will protect him. So when Hiranyakashipu actually asked him, that if his Lord Vishnu, where is he actually? Because initially, actually there is discussion where it is mentioned that Hiranyakashipu he become very angry because Prahlad Maharaj, who has been subjected to so many miseries, but he remained actually undisturbed. Even his father became very angry towards the end, and he said that actually, but Prahlad Maharaj was just, he paid his obeisances and standing before him with his folded hand, with a smile on his face. So that actually agitated him quite a lot, and he said that actually, Prahlad, who just actually you're born, you are just 5 years old. With just the movement of my eyebrows, these three lokas, they actually they, what is mentioned there? They tremble with the fear, even he move his eyebrows, all the devatas, they are actually try to hide. And you're just standing here, even I'm actually so angry, but you are actually smiling, So what is this, where are you getting all this strength? Who's giving you all this strength? So as he says, actually mentions, because my dear, he's a Asurvar, you because you're asking, I will tell you that actually the source of my strength, not just my strength, the source of your strength as well, and everyone's strength is actually Lord Vishnu, who's present everywhere. That actually Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also mentioned, where he says that actually just a fragment of himself, he pervades the entire universe. So he's present everywhere as a Paramatma. And actually, just to actually, because Prahlad Maharaj, when he was questioned that he is present everywhere, is he present in the stamba, the pillar next to it, And he said, yes, I can see him in that pillar. But Hiranyakashipu couldn't able to see. So in the anger, actually he pulled out his sword and he actually struck that actually stump with his fist. And actually Lord Narsimhadeva, actually he appeared from the stump to protect his devotee. And there's actually a very interesting point actually as came into the reading where before he appeared, actually what actually happened is that there is a big tumultuous sound, cracking sound that actually appeared in his sabha, and it actually bewildered Hiranyakashipu. He couldn't able to figure out where that sound is coming from. So Srila Prabhupada actually very nicely mentioned this verse where it is said. There is a Bhagavad Gita verse, it's a reference to chapter 7, verse 8. Rasoham apsu kaunteya pabhasmi shashi suryoyoha pranavaha sarva vedeshu shabdaha ke paurusham nishu. So Srila Prabhupada actually highlighted this verse, Shabda Ke, So where Krishna said, I am the sound in a ether. So as actually Lord appeared there before he's actually visible to anyone, that this actually tumultuous sound that came out. So that actually Lord appeared as a actually sound vibration initially, before he's actually appear in front of Hiranyakashipu. So it is also mentioned there in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna says that I am in the sound, in the ether, in the space. So Krishna actually is actually appearing as a sound vibration as well. And after that, actually, tumultuous sound, actually that hearing upon, all the devtas, all the lokas, all the living entities, they were also very disturbed, and frightened. But actually, Lord actually appeared, in front of Hiranyakashipu, and as we know, there is a fight between Lord Hiranyakashipu and Lord Narsimhadeva, and finally he was actually killed. So I won't go into the details, but actually I'm just meditating on those actually points, and especially the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. That actually even he's been subjected to threefold miseries, but his devotion was so firm, his faith in the Lord was so firm that actually Lord Vishnu, he appeared to protect his devotee. As in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma, Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma, Shashva Shantim Nigachati, Kaunteya Prati Janihi, Name Bhaktya Pranashyati. He quickly become righteous and attain lasting peace. So son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So here the actually assurance, given by Lord Krishna, that one who is actually very devoted to him, is always protected by Lord Krishna. Sanjay Prabhu also speak on the same point, the actually protective quality of the Lord, that we need to have actually firm faith that Lord will always protect us. So if we are sincere in devotional service, as it is mentioned in this prayer also, Lord Narsimhadeva has actually the nails, it's like a thunderbolt. So he will uproot all the actually obstacles on the path of devotion if we actually become sincere, So Lord will definitely reciprocate, and actually He will remove all the obstacles, But we have to be very devoted, just like a Prahlad. And actually, Lord Narsimha appeared to actually because to prove actually the words of Prahlad Maharaj, also his guru Narad Muni, and also Lord Brahmaji, who actually given so many boons to Hiranyakashipu, and the way he was killed, so he did not actually break the word of Lord Brahma as well. So that's actually the special qualities of the Lord. Actually, he always makes sure that the words of his devotees, they always come true, no matter what. So there are many points I think we can meditate and learn, and there are many actually instruction given in Bhagavad Gita that can be practically seen in this pastime of actually Prahlad Maharaj and the appearance of Lord Narsimhadev. So actually, I sincerely pray to Lord Narsimhadev to kindly appear, in our heart as well, because our heart is full with all the actually anarthas, so all this actually contamination with the actually envy, the greed, and all the anarthas, actually we are very materialistic and we have all this material desire in our heart. So the only way we can actually get rid, is to totally depend on the Lord and try to actually serve Him lovingly. So He can actually appear, in our heart and actually uproot all these anarthas. So we become purified, and we can able to progress on this path. Jai Shri Prahlad Narsimha Bhagwan ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Amrish Prabhu.
Thank you, Hare Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, thank you very much for your very nice realizations. And as we in a special mood, in what we do, is this that we should speak from what we have learned. And yeah, sometimes in preaching we can jump, and look at Google and search out information and all those things. But that's not, as all of you all know, that's what I like to do. Our teaching is not that. that the knowledge is half-based, half-baked. So it is a big learning for other level devotees to see and learn that how even just from Bhagavad Gita we can learn from and speak about the Lord, the Lordships. One second, there's an echo here. Hold on, please. Hardly doing Gayatri. Please, there's an echo here. I don't like echo, please. Devotees are watching. I don't like it. Okay, Hare Krishna. Can everybody hear me all right now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Sorry for this disturbance. There was a bit of a confusion on our side, and it has been sorted now. So it is very important for other level devotees, for every level devotees, to see that there is no need to jump and see and understand and hear and pick up knowledge on piecemeal basis. You see, it may give us some impetus for intelligence, but the bhakti will not be there. I can tell you with my personal realization, it is a fact. Many devotees make this mistake that they do not systematically study scriptures of Prabhupada. And it is very simple. He said first, small books of Prabhupada. Second, we start with Nectar of Instruction, Shishopnishad, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And with it, you can do Nectar of Devotion too. In preaching, everything is allowed. I understand that point. But at the same time, there's a big responsibility because we are showing to the new class of people what to do and how to do it. So that is the reason why this particular program, we have put it as that devotees' realizations based upon what they have studied. So I would like to just quickly speak on a couple of points here. Lord Narsimhadeva Appearance Day is on Wednesday, and we all are meditating from today in preparations for it. Now the first question is, Lord Narsimhadeva appeared. How does the devotee see the Lord? I think I had mentioned this, we had this discussion in the past as well, that when the Lord appeared, he did not appear in the form. First, when he appeared in sound. So when that extreme situation occurred where Lord Narsimhadeva had to be physically present to save his devotee. So the Lord has got multifarious energies, and he really doesn't need to come to perform any act, but he does the act. And when he personally comes, and that personal coming is only for one reason, is to prove the words of his devotees right. So when he came first as a sound vibration. And there was this roar which appeared when the pillar was broken. And it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam that the roaring was so ferocious, the grumble, the roaring of the lion before the grumbling part, that it gave panic to people, in people's hearts. Everybody was very panicked. And they did not know. The demigods were panicked, the demons were panicked, of course, but demigods were also panicking. The Lord was coming, demigod was also present there, coming there with him. And that particular form of the Lord, of half man, half lion, was not seen before. See, it was the first time this particular form was being seen. Before this, it was not seen. You must know this point. So nobody could expect what to expect. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna's form and incarnations also doesn't come in every yuga cycle. They don't, both of them, they come simultaneously one after the other in one day of Brahma, but not in every yuga cycle. Now there are 14 yuga cycles, 14 Brahmas, 14 Indras in one day of Brahma. You see, in 14 Manus. So not in all of them, and there are so many yuga cycles in each of them, 78 in each of the Manus. Now amongst all these 14, only in one Treta Yuga, Krishna appears. And after that, in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. And we are so fortunate that we have appeared, we have taken birth, not appeared, we have taken birth just in that Yuga cycle. Now, we may be using our intelligence to say that, oh, well, I'm so unfortunate, I did not appear 400 years ago or 5,000 years ago to be with Krishna or Lord Chaitanya. But we should use our intelligence to think that in the gamut of so many yuga cycles, we have also taken birth just now where we can hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and hear about Lord Krishna in his Vrindavan pastime. And they are still existing in Vrindavan, in all these places. You see? So this is how intelligence has to be utilized. And there is no need for moroseness. Krishna consciousness means positivity. Krishna consciousness is not negativity. If we are being victimized by negativity, that means we are not seeing things correctly. We are not utilizing our intelligence correctly. So here, the appearance of Lord Narsimhadeva is very positive for the devotees, but negative for non-devotees. Now, he came in the form, so everybody was very afraid. What is this form? What is this roar? Where is it coming from? And when they saw the form after this, they all were petrified. And when they saw how ferociously the Lord attacked and killed so many unlimited demons there trying to protect Hiranyakashipu. And then he killed Hiranyakashipu ferociously. Now, why did he come? We say he came to protect his devotees. Yes, that's right. Absolutely right. Which devotee? We spoke about this in the past also. Now see, this particular point, I think twice devotees have very nicely covered this point of the Bhagavad Gita, where 931. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Very famous. The second two lines are very famous. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace, O son of Kunti. Declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Now, we know that the Lord protects his devotees. But in this particular verse is so important because in this verse, the Lord is instructing his devotee to assure his devotees that tell everybody that my devotee will never be perished. So the Lord is saying, O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. The Lord instructs Arjuna, his devotee, to instruct all of us that my devotee never perishes. Why is this so? In one of the lectures, Srila Prabhupada explains this point that the Lord is so He's completely free. He may say something, he may not fulfill it. He may fulfill it in a different way. He's completely independent. But being independent also, he is bound by a devotee's promise. So if a devotee promises on behalf of the Lord, then he's bound by it, then his free will finishes. The Lord voluntarily gives up his free will. That is a point to be understood. We all are all of us, all living beings, we are very fond of our free will, and we do not want others to control our free will. So much so that we have rebelled from the Lord, and we are in this material world now, the free will. So the Lord, understanding the position and accepting the superiority of the position of the devotee, says, let my devotee promise, and I'm bound by it. Just like in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord says that those who worship me is close to me. But those who worship my devotees, they are most dear to me. Here it is the same thing, promising that, you see. Now, because of this promise that the Lord has made Arjuna take, and Bhagavad Gita exists in all space and time. The Lord came personally for the promise that was given by Narad Muni. So what had happened is this, that when the demigods saw, all the devas, when they saw that Hiranyakashipu had gone to do this tapasya, has become so powerful that he is going to destroy us. He is doing tapasya to destroy us only and become the ruler. And actually it happened. When he became the ruler of all the universe. Heavenly planets also, where it was heavenly planets, only the devas can rule. The demigods can rule. He actually captured the heavenly planets. And even Indra had to run away from his palace. You see? In that situation, they knew all this will happen. So what they did was, they said, let us kill, let us kidnap the wife. She was pregnant. Imagine this. A pregnant woman was to be kidnapped. And demigods were doing this situation. And she was pregnant with Prahlad Maharaj. And the Lord had said, my devotee is going to be present here. He'll come and he'll save you. He said, let us kidnap her and bring the child out, But Kayadu was very afraid. So Narad Muni said, I will take care of Kayadu, do not worry, I'll take care of the child, I'll protect them. He told the demigods, you don't worry about this. You worry about Hiranyakashipu. He's going to take your kingdom away anyways. So he took her, brought him to the ashram, and at that time, Mother Kayadu, she was so afraid that my unborn child is causing so much nuisance to the demigods, they are going to kill him. Please, she says, protect my child. At that time, to protect Prahlad Maharaj, and the promise was given. That promise was delivered by Narad Muni to say, I promise you that your child will not be harmed by anybody. Not only demigods. Actually, the biggest, enemy of the unborn child, which his wife also did not know, which the mother did not know, was Hiranyakashipu, the father. She thought the demigods were her enemies. You see, this is how intelligence works. It fools us. But the great sage Narad was so clever. Divya Drishti he had. He said, he will be protected by all his enemies. So Prabhupada writes in the purport saying that Narad Muni gave assurance that Prahlad Maharaj would always be saved from enemies' hands. And that is the reason why when Hiranyakashipu is when Hiranyakashipu appeared to kill, to fulfill his promise of Narad Muni, Lord Narsimhadeva appeared himself. So a lot of things to be learned here. When we as living beings, we do not know who is our friend and who's our enemy. The mother thought the demigods are going to harm my child, which was true to that extent, but they were protected by Narad Muni there. But the biggest threat for the child was coming from her own husband, the father of the child, the seed-giving father of the child. That she did not know, but Narad Muni knew. That is the reason why a devotee is always very intelligent. A devotee is very gambhir, very sthir. A devotee, most of the time, has to take the pressures of the world on his shoulders, especially when he's preaching. Tolerate, forgive, give the time, give blood, give everything, gallons of blood, to make unintelligent people intelligent. Because we may think we are very intelligent. Good for us. And that's, I'm saying it's not, we're not negative, we're being positive. This is how, by studying Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, we can be intelligent. By seeing the position of the mother. Otherwise, it is very pastime. Oh, Kaya to become afraid of the demigods. So that's why she went to Narad Muni. Now she will protect her, and it's done. But we forget the point that she missed the point. Who's going to be the biggest enemy threat for a child? And that Narad Muni knew. That's why he promised. You see? So devotees, every devotee means giving shelter. Don't think that only a pure devotee gives shelter. Everybody is a pure devotee. Even a Kanishta Adhikari can be pure. Prabhupada says it's a fact. It's Shastric. I have not created anything. If you read Shastra, you will know. Bhagavatam says this. A pure devotee doesn't need to be an Uttam Adhikari. A pure devotee can be Kanishta also. But continuously pure is very important. Continuous remembrance is very important. See, we think that somebody who is a pure devotee would mean he should have a danda, he should have a sannyas, he was this and that. One who speaks very nicely, eloquently, he is the one. Well, okay. Again, you're fooled. One who speaks the truth. A person may be very nice eloquently, but if he cannot stand for the truth, what kind of devotee he is? Prahlad Maharaj, we learn from this point. He stood for Krishna to say, no, Krishna is God, full stop. He says this, he will protect, we will protect, full stop. You see, that's why, first thing, that is the reason why in devotional service is called faith is needed, nishtha. Faith is very important, first point needed. You see, and faith comes from intelligence, not blind faith. That blind faith is temporary, momentarily. With all our capacity, our background, our education, our past life also has effect on our intelligence of this. This life has got our effect on our intelligence and our thinking. We should be deeper thinking. We should be able to understand what is important and what is not, what is relevant, what is not, and pick up the relevance and move on. Never stop. In bhakti, if we stop, we are finished. If we are disturbed by what others tell us about us, we are disturbed. We will stop. Never stop. We require certificate from Krishna at the end. We don't require certificate from anybody else. That doesn't mean we disrespect anybody. No. What I'm saying is, we do not disrespect anybody, but at the same time, we don't get disturbed by anybody. You see? So here, when Prahlad Maharaj was saved, when the Lord appeared, killing his father Hiranyakashipu, and Prahlad Maharaj was saved because of Narad Muni's promise. Prahlad Maharaj was not even born at that time. He was in the womb of the mother. See how super intelligent he was. This is in 7.9.29. Listen to this very carefully. Mat prana rakshana mananta pitur vidhascha manyesva bhrutya rushi vakyam rutam vidhatum khadgam pragruhya yadavocha dasad vidhit sus Tvamishvaro madaparo avatu kam harami. I'll just come to translation just for time's sake. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Lord, O unlimited reservoir of transcendental qualities, you have killed my father Hiranyakashipu and saved me from his sword. He had said very angrily, if there is any supreme controller other than me, let him save you. I shall now sever your head from your body. Therefore, I think that both in saving me and in killing him, you have acted just to prove true the words of your devotee, there is no other cause. Yeah? And what is that cause? Narad Muni. Narad Muni is cause. He's the cause. Now, he says, the Lord is, Prahlad Maharaj is saying this, that, my dear Lord, evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kamabhikama mano yah prapatan prasangat krutvatmasat surashina bhagavan gruhitas suvaham katham nu vishrujye tava bhrutya sevam. So now here Prahlad Maharaj is telling the Lord, my dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with material desires, one after another, I was gradually falling down in a blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant, Narad Muni, kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve his transcendental position, this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How can I leave his service? So this is said when after the Lord has appeared in his ferocious form, all the demigods are afraid. Hiranyakashipu is killed, all the demigods are afraid, and the Lord, to pacify him, Lord Brahma requests Prahlad Maharaj to say, please go to Lord Narsimhadeva and pacify him. So he pacifies him nicely. The Lord places his hand, lotus hand on his head, and Prahlad Maharaj says, I'm a demon child, and you're placing your hand on me. I'm so fortunate, more than the goddess of fortune, and Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, on whom you don't give this mercy. And then when the Lord asks, what benediction do you want? He says, what benediction do I want? I just want to become servant of your servant. That's what I want. I want nothing. You have come here because of your servant's promise. He did not take the credit on him, which is a fact. He understood the mercy of his guru. Now, who's a guru? Immediately, people will start to think, oh, guru means a person who has made sina, diksha, and guru mantra. What guru? Narad Muni gave instructions to his mother when he was in the womb. So he was instructing guru, Shiksha Guru. Whole of Bhagavatam is Shiksha Guru. So he says, I'm saved because of the promise given by him. So my service first duty is to serve him. And what instruction is Narad Muni gave Prahlad Maharaj? Remember Krishna, never forget him. That's what he did. He had that faith. And as devotees mentioned before, that with all the cases against him, He said, remember Narad Muni's instructions. Sanjeev Prabhu and Srila Prabhu mentioned this point, So this is the serving of the Guru's instructions. That's called seva, serving. We think that, serving means what? Personally going and serving and washing his feet and massaging his feet and cooking. What? What nonsense? What is the meaning of Vapu Seva and Vani Seva? This is Vani Seva, example of Vani Seva in front of us. See, one example gives us so many instructions here. Intelligence, two sides. Non-intelligence also of the mother. Intelligence of Narad Muni. Intelligence of Prahlad Maharaj. And the instructions of how to serve a Guru. And what pleases Krishna. Serving his devotees. You see? So most of the time, we do not appreciate what is in our hands. And what we have got in our hands is our devotional service. It's our devotional service. And that is what we have to do. This treasure is given by Srila Prabhupada. And from this one verse, two verses, so much nectar can be get. I pray at the lotus feet of all you Vaishnavas that one day I'll be able to understand these things and implement in my life. And that will be my day. That will be the day of my chanting sincerely. I'll understand the meaning of who's a pure devotee. What is the meaning of I am alive in my instructions? I'll never die. And I will not accept somebody dead and buried when I'm reading the books. And the instructions are still alive, changing my heart, changing my life. Only then I'll be able to really serve Srila Prabhupada and Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj by serving all of you and all the Vaishnavas. Jai. Srila Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Narad Muni ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. It's I God Chandra Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Who would like to go next? Please feel free. I see we have got other devotees also here. Is it Bodhimanta Prabhu? Are you around as well? Hare Krishna. I don't know if you can hear us. Okay. We'll open for everybody. Please, who would like to share your realizations? Hare Krishna. Oh, yes. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, would you like to share your realization? Please feel free. I'm happy to hear from the Vaishnava. You are taking away our mercy, our good fortune, Prabhuji. Anyway, whatever suits you. Please, if you can speak or if you can write also, we can read for you. It's wonderful. But thank you very much for being here with us. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Yes, Prabhu. Who Mataji, who would like to share next from the Leader Sangha? I have no microphone. Prabhu. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Microphone. Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, you got it right now. Microphone. Haribol. Microphone ki Jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Who would like to go next now? Please feel free.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, all the devotees, for very nice realizations on this auspicious program for Lord Narsimhadeva's appearance day. So I'd just like to share my small realization. Thank you once again to everyone, all the devotees, for very nice realizations. So one thing that that I was meditating on from the pastime of the Lord Narsimhadev pastime is that Prahlad Maharaj, what we can learn from, or what I can learn from Prahlad Maharaj, and there are many things that can be learned and applied in today's day and age. One thing that I wanted to meditate on was that despite all the inconveniences and all the suffering that Prahlad Maharaj had to go through, never forgot Lord Krishna, never forgot and saw the Lord everywhere. And Srila Prabhupada likens this to the atheistic class of mankind. And in this day and age, we see more and more that atheistic consciousness is prevalent everywhere, down to education, institutions, what we're consuming in the world as well is very atheistic. And that being in that environment constantly and perpetually can also affect my own consciousness as well. So we're constantly at war with that. And Prahlad Maharaj never forgot, Lord Krishna, despite all the suffering. And similarly, we should also, or I should also never forget about Krishna consciousness. I never forget the process of the devotional service and bhakti, in this Kali Yuga. And Srila Prabhupada also says that, the devotee always remembers Lord Krishna, always. But the atheist would remember or, look at God at the time of death, only at the time of death. They see that death in the form as God as a form of death. And we've discussed this in the past as well. When people are refer to themselves as God-fearing people as well, it stems from that sort of mentality. Whereas the devotee sees the Lord everywhere. And so
Sorry, Krishnadas. I'm sorry, Krishnadas. Can you put yourself on the main screen, please? It's me on the main screen. Or you make me a main host so I can change things if you want.
very well. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I think now you're on the main screen. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Very well. Yeah. So like I was saying, that the atheist would see God in the form of death, as perhaps we can say that Hiranyakashipu also saw Lord Nrsimha at the time of his death. Whereas Prahlad Maharaj saw Lord Nrsimhadev everywhere, saw the Lord everywhere, even in that pillar. And that is the difference between a devotee and other people, atheists, as Srila Prabhupada puts it. I'd just like to refer to a verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, chapter 18, verse 9. I'll just recite it. Swastya suvashvasya kalaha prasiddhatam dhyayantu bhutani shivam dhiya manasya bhadram bhajatad adokshaje aveshyatam no matirapya hetuki. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of him. Now, this translation is in context of Prahlad Maharaj's prayers to Lord Narsimhadev, as has also been mentioned by the other devotees at the time after killing Hiranyakashipu. And I'd just like to focus on one point in the purport, which Srila Prabhupada says that Prahlad Maharaj phrased in this verse, Kalaha Prasiddhatam, may all the envious persons be pacified. The material world is full of envious persons, but if one freed himself of envy, he becomes liberal in his social dealings and can think of others' welfare. Therefore, we should pray to Lord Nrsimhadev to sit in our hearts. We should pray, Bahir Nasimha Hridaye Nasimha. Let Lord Nrsimhadev sit in the core of my heart, killing all my bad propensities. Let my mind become clean so that I may peacefully worship the Lord and bring peace to the entire world. So again, Prahlad Maharaj was not praying for his own welfare or anything, for himself. He was, as is mentioned by Amrish Prabhu as well, that to become the servant of the servant, of the Lord, and also to for the welfare of the living entities. And I think Prahlad Maharaj also said that I want to be bring even the lowest of the low person to Krishna consciousness, to the Lord. So that's the mood of Prahlad Maharaj, and that's the mood in some capacity which I should try and imbibe as well. And it's very, very relevant. I always find that these realizations are really relevant in today's age, especially with a fast and ever evolving change in consciousness and change in shift away from God consciousness. So this is very, very important for me to meditate on. And so that's my realization. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Very good to see youth youngsters saying. And I'm hoping that very soon we'll have the intermediate level devotees in the Leaders Sangha in few months' time. Very eager, because the IDP tutors are working very hard on them. So I'm sure they can also give the nice realizations. And we'll have instead of 3 hours, we'll have 4 hours, 5 hours. I can't wait for that day. Hare Krishna. Yes, who would like to share more, please, from the Leaders Sangha? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Amrish Prabhu, and Hare Krishna, all the devotees. And thank you to Purna Bhagna Devi Dasi Mataji and Krishna Samarpan Prabhu for engaging us and giving us a guidance that how we actually understand the scriptures and the mood and what to do, what not to do. It's really hard. So while I was preparing for today's realization and thinking about that, because we give realization every year and we are giving realization every year without actually realizing. So, and we are talking about Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, after appearance of Narsimhadeva, is actually going and praying to Lord Narsimhadeva to pacify him. Nobody else can do it, only Bhakta can do it. So from that, I realized something, and I would like to start with a verse from Bhagavad Gita and trying to share my realization. Because like Bhagavad Gita has got everything, but it is in the indexing form. All the instructions there, everything is there, but how we understand and elaboration in Bhagavatam. So I try to share what I understand and what I realize, because I am also trying to find my way into bhakti, that where I am heading to, what I am actually doing, why I am doing, is it the right thing or is it I'm still confused. So the verse I would like to start, which describes Prahlad Maharaj's qualities, referred by Srila Prabhupada and sung by Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita. That is, Mam cha yo vyabicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samattityatan brahma bhuvaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends to the mode of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Bhagavad Gita 14.26. So that was the situation of Prahlad Maharaj. In all those difficult situations, he never gave up and he had full confidence and belief in Krishna. And the verse I would like to, one more verse I would like to share while I share my relation, is again a prayer sung by Prahlad Maharaj when he started praying to Lord Narsimhadeva, and in which he was comparing devotees and bhaktas and different creations. And because we all are engaged, all the human, different mood, different ego, different intelligence, we are doing bhakti. And depending on our mood and depending on our situation, we take birth in next life and get whatever we're doing. So we choose to where we want to go. So in that, Prahlad Maharaj in the very initial stage comparing all those Brahminical qualities with the Vaishnava qualities. The difference between this and all Brahminical qualities means awe and reverence. I mean, when actually, oh, he knows so much and he's so austere. But if there is no Krishna, this is all. Yeah, I'll probably let Prahlad Maharaj sing, and I'll also then we'll share the relation. And this is again from chapter 7, sorry, Canto 7, chapter 9, verse number 10. Viprad Vishwat Yutat Arvindanabha Padar Vinda Vimukhat Swapacham Varishtam Manne Tat Arpita Mano Vachante Hitratha Pranam Punati Sakulam Natu Bhurimana. Translate by Bhagavad Gita. And Prahlad Maharaj says like this: if a Brahmana has all 12 of the Brahminical qualifications, as they are stated in the book called Sanat Sujat, but is not a devotee and is averse to the lotus feet of the Lord, he is certainly lower than a devotee who is a dog eater, but who has dedicated everything, mind, words, activities, wealth, and life to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee is better than such a Brahmana because the devotee can purify his whole family, whereas the so-called Brahmana in a position of false prestige cannot purify even himself. So this is the prayer being sung by Prahlad Maharaj to pacify Narsimhadeva after his appearance and killing of Hiranyakashipu. He's very categorically talking about the difference between Brahminical. I'll share the Brahminical qualities, those 12 also. And those qualities, they're worse than a dog eater. If a devotee even is a dog, if he believes in Krishna, that's what Bhagavatam is talking about. But what is the other quality? Mind, words, activities, wealth, and life. So we need to relook at inside, if we are serious about bhakti, that how we can actually progress. So Prabhupada further in the purport, even not only Brahmins, he talks about other Varnashram souls also, all the living entities also in that situation. Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jatihi Shastram Japastapaha Apranasya Dehasya Mandanam Loka Ranjanam. If one is born in the high family like that of Brahman, Kshatriya or Vaishya, but is not a devotee of the Lord, all his good qualification as a Brahman, Kshatriya or Vaishya are all null and void. Indeed, they are considered decoration of a dead body. That's how the time we are wasting. We are dead body. Now, how do we do this? How do we get there? How do we actually understand this? And not understanding is waste of time unless we apply that knowledge. And that is the mood of Hare Krishna weekend devotees. At whatever level we are trying to apply that knowledge. We are trying to understand that how we can practically live this. Because if you don't live this knowledge, then this knowledge has no meaning and it is a waste of time. Now, those 12 qualities which I was talking about, which will probably clarify more on why Prahlad Maharaj is talking in his prayer or singing his prayer to Narsimhadeva. And very nicely Prabhupada write this in the purport also. And then I have to find a Chaitanya Charitamrita where that translation was given. Prabhupada is not given translation in this verse. I'll share. Jnanam cha satyam cha tamas sutam cha. Oh, sorry, let me start again. Jnanam cha satyam cha tamas sutam cha amatasyam hitastitikṣanusya yagna cha danam cha dhriti samascha mahavrata dvadasa brahmarsya. So these are the Jnanam, Satyam, Damah, Shrutam, Amartasyam, Titikṣanusya. These qualities Prabhupada is referring that these are the 12 qualities which I will refer from so the translation of this verse is, which probably you all understand: peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmana work. Further, the other two lines: mental equilibrium, sense control, austerity, cleanliness, tolerance, simplicity, detachment, theoretical and practical knowledge, satisfaction, truthfulness, and firm faith in the Vedas are the 12 qualities of the Brahman. So firm faith in Vedas also. So these are the 12 qualities, and I was thinking that how actually it's impossible for me to all those 12 qualities. But in this verse, in the slok, where Prahlad Maharaj is singing, is giving that how actually we can actually realize this and practice this. And that's what he says very clearly: mind, words, activities, wealth, and life. So I feel that by engaging in some kind of devotional service, and that's to preaching, that's where your mind is engaged, your words are engaged, what you're speaking, what words you're using, they are so important. Your activities are controlled. You are engaged, you have to spend money because you don't take money, and obviously you are giving your life. So this is how we can practically apply this knowledge without worrying about those 12 qualities of Brahmanical qualities, which actually entire world is into the situation they were, particularly in India. Yeah, Prabhupada gives in the right, comparing those situations where these are very important, those impulses and Vedas and everything. But unless we understand this, that who is Krishna? So very recently, in last 2 weeks, we have started Krishna Kids program here in India, where all those small kids actually have joined. 5 or 6 of them or 7 of them. I am also trying to engage their parents also, because unless the parents are joined, children of 5, 6, 7 years of age can't do much. And we have taken guidance from Amrish Prabhu and Namrata Mataji also, directly, indirectly, that how we do it. And I find that I'm the most disqualified person, because my personality is not that I can teach children. I can give knowledge. My background is like that I can speak in a corporate style. So when we are actually talking to these children, how to simplify this knowledge so that they can understand it, relate it, and it's still, because they're children, there's somebody is showing me more punky, somebody is doing something else on the Zoom. So it's really tasting my knowledge and my understanding, because I've not met them. I'm doing on the Zoom. I even speak to my daughter that how you did it. I'm finding it very difficult to practically engage those young, and they are very enthusiastic. Believe me, they are very enthusiastic. We told them, Aham Saraswati Prabhu, and they all remember that was second class. They all remember that was, how sharp they are. And that makes me more worried that how I'm going to do this. So I need a lot of blessings so that we can engage. I was telling my wife that why don't you do this? Because they have natural tendency to actually connect with these children. And I'm telling them that we don't want numbers. We all want sincerity so that you can actually understand and practically realize this. And you will not believe we started when I got run of our ideas in the first class. I started talking in my first class, that was a week before. Started talking on Prahlad Maharaj. That do you know Prahlad? Nahi, why we celebrate Holi? And they all knew the story. Believe me, they all knew the story. That's Indian style. They know all those things. Prabhupada talks about this. This is in our blood. Holika and Prahlad Maharaj and his father wanted to kill him and his clothes, and she was not going to burn, so she has he's going to kill him. All told me the stories. So that's where I am. And now they remember this verse. Yes, of course, when I go and start explaining that translation, who is Krishna, and then it becomes too much for them. I said, why I'm telling this? But they will memorize verses. They memorize verses. That today also we taught them, shown them one clip with help of Pradyumna Prabhu about the Maharaj. I said, show them the children singing that song so that from next week, we can tell them that this is they have to sing. And they're all just doing everything, but I don't have to tell them. So I have to find those things which they can see and they can repeat. This is awesome. And I've invited parents and all those parents of devotees also, you also join and tell me what I'm doing wrong and how we can make it more impactful. Because, okay, we have seen our life, this 23, 24, 20, whatever age, they have a different stage. Over 5, 6 years old means those AI and I don't know what not. I don't know how that the entire world is going to use them. They need that education then more than anybody else. And then we are engaged. So this is, and after that, I have got parents class. Two different, one is North Pole, one is South Pole. Yeah, they're all nice. But the mood is so different. They're so grave and giving me philosophies and they know everything. They know everything. But as soon as you come to that, how will apply this knowledge in your life, that's where the real challenge comes. We all know what is Atma. We all know what Paramatma. We all know we should realize Atma. We all know everything. No, the body changes and this is Sat and this is Asat. We all know those things. There is no shortage of knowledge. But as soon as it comes to practical side, oh man, that's what we don't want to do. I think that's why there's not many students in our class. Because we don't want to know. Don't ask me to change. Then I told them, we are talking about Sat and Asat. Okay, Sat means which doesn't change, Asat means which changes, material and spiritual, and which you all know. And I said, but there is one thing which doesn't change even with time. I said, time is energy of Krishna. Everything is changing with time. There is nothing which time doesn't affect in this material world, but there is one thing which time cannot change. Yeah. I said, what's that? And nobody knew. I said, that's our false ego. Time cannot change it. 8.3.25. That's the power of Hare Krishna. We are in and out of it. All those scriptures refer this, or find this, or do this, or do this. Give realization. Man, that's too hard. And that's why people run away. It's too hard. But those who relish, they don't want to give up. That's like I have spoken to Path and all. They don't want to give up on this. They just want to hang in there. Prabhu, kabhi to buddhi aayegi humko. Correct, Path? बहुत बुद्धि है वैसे अभी कमी बुद्धि की कमी नहीं है. So I tell them when the annihilation takes everything away, everything annihilated, we go and in the Mahavishnu and sleep there with our ego. And when the creation starts, we're again with our ego. And that's Gajendra Maharaj's prayer. Same situation. Prahlad Maharaj's prayer, Gajendra's prayer, same thing. This ignorance. We don't want to change whatever you do. And they all agreed. I said, that's our problem. So there are two extremes I'm handling with. I need a lot of guidance, a lot of blessings. so that I can actually make use of my life. And I remember Mahavishnu Maharaj will like that we educate those young ones. And this, I remember Krishna Prabhu and Krishna Prabhu was the same age group. Man, you tell him the words, he will start. He'll start. So that, I don't know how I'm going to do it. So we are planning a lot of things, and somebody is going to sketch drawing, and I'm going to give them homework because they're so sharp. They want to do it. We have to just channelize their energies. And luckily, their parents are also very supportive. So I thought I'll share my realization, what I'm doing, and because every week is a new week for me. And we are going to celebrate this Narsimha Chaturdashi somewhere in Nagpur. They're still arguing where do we do it, but somewhere we'll do it. And devotees are very excited. So please bless us. And that's my lesson. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Otherwise, I'll keep talking.
Hare Krishna, Guruji, very good, very good. So we have two programs for Krishna kids. One is in Maharashtra in India, Namrata Mother is doing, and one is in Nagpur, and you've got devotees, children coming from different places also. Apart from Nagpur, they're coming from, I think you said Rajasthan and Delhi as well. Very good, very good. Please keep up the good work. Jara Dako Tare Kaho Krishna Upadesh. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us free hand. Very nice. All the best. Also, one more thing I was saying, if you are doing a program, like we are doing program here in Newland, in Glen Eden Sherpa Ashram. Okay. So if you're doing a program in Nagpur, you give us the details and put up in our Facebook, in our WhatsApp group. So people will invite, if those who are from Nagpur want to come, they can come there. Give them 1 or 2 days notice. For every of your program, if you are doing, wherever we are doing in other countries, wherever, because our WhatsApp main group has got people from everywhere, devotees, people coming from everywhere. Devotees, non-devotees. So why not? If somebody is interested, they can join, They can give us a number also. Give us the details. These are the details, what it is. Just like we put for our Sarpas Ashram, your place here in Glen Eden. We'll put the same notice there. Yeah, with the details. But it has to be in a particular format. So just give me full details. Whoever you will give us, they put somebody else to give. When the formatting is done, we'll put up there. Okay?
Yes, bro. We're also getting used to Facebook and all those pages. So devotee is doing a lot of things. I said, go step by step so that we can post it.
And then you can post their page, once the photographs and all that, videos, photographs, put up there. Put up on WhatsApp group also, our main WhatsApp group. If you've got any videos and all for the program, short videos and all that, please do it. Put it on YouTube channel and everything. It's a common channel for all, not only for Auckland. We'll do it for, these are independent programs, but that doesn't matter. We are still with us,
No, Prabhu, they are not independent. I don't think
no, that is our mood. That's okay. Voluntarily you are here. That is how it is. But from our side, everybody, because today it's you. Tomorrow it will be your trainee people whom they'll become leaders. So they will have their team. Who will have their team? So we are talking about all future generations. So there will be no centralized control. We train them, they can do. But if voluntarily they want to come, they come to us. No problem. That's how it should be. This is how the parampara will continue. Prabhupada, Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, by Shiksha. Simple. No complications. Very nice. All the best. All the best. Hare Krishna. So maybe you can also have combination with the Namrata Mataji's program and yours. When sometimes the kids can meet each other.
Yes, Namrata Mataji.
Why not? Why not? And next year we'll go to Kurukshetra for the opening with Sanjay Prabhu. So we're going to have big festivities. We are in. It's happening. Okay, once we finish our realizations, I have to speak for about 45 minutes, very important points, okay? So please, leaders group, if you can continue with your realizations. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much, Amrish Prabhu, Purnapurga Mataji and Krishna Samarpan Prabhu for giving us a nice opportunity to share our realization. Just a second. And thank you all the devotees for your nice realization as well. So my realization is It's from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 66. Sarvadharman parityajam mamekam sharanam vraja aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshaishami ma shuchaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. So I remember this verse, because since we join our Namahata, we are listening this verse many times. In many ways, you know. So the first time when I thought about what can I talk about Lord Narsingh Bhagwan, and then this is the one verse is come to my mind first time. So I was thinking about this, and then we all know the Lord Prahlad Maharaj's story, Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu, and Lord Narsingh Bhagwan's story. So how the Prahlad Maharaj was born in Asura's place is the son of Hiranyakashipu, and then and Hiranyakashipu did not like at all how Prahlad Maharaj is surrendered to the Lord Narayan, and he tries to kill him many ways and many times. But still, Prahlad Maharaj were really surrender unto him, and then he has no fear at all. And as Krishna mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Narayan, he is always protected to Prahlad Maharaj. So from this story, what I realize as well, that if we are fully surrendered to the Krishna and Lord Narsingh Bhagwan, he always protected to us. There were many incidents in my life as well, and I have realized that no matter what it was, but I have been protected still now. And then there is like one satisfaction that now I sang already Lord Narsingh Bhagwan prayer, and I'm already like, you know, it feels like relief. It feels like I'm protected. I never get like fear of anything. And then many times I have realized that I've been protected from the Lord Narsingh Bhagwan. So on the occasion of this, I just wanted to share this one. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. And also, as Avinash Prabhuji mentioned, that he's taking the kids classes. So I would like to thank you to Amrish Prabhu and Purna Pragya Mataji for always, guiding me to take the children classes. Without your guidance, there was no possibility to go ahead for this one. And also, I always remember Pradhan Gopika Mataji, how she used to take children classes in our Namata in Newlin. And she was like, I know it's need more patience to talk with children. Sometimes they get distracted and all, but yeah, I saw how Pradhan Gopika Mataji lovingly, she used to teach them and all, and they used to love her so much. And I'm still trying. I'm not the good teacher, not the good one, but I'm trying my best to, give them some stories and teach them some verses. But yes, may Lord Narsingh Bhagwan give me a mercy, and then we can continue. I can continue this one with all, also with all the devotees' mercy. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, very nice. All the best to you. This is very good. We can speak on big topics on what we understand. This is a proof that any scripture, if we understand, any scripture that we understand, that scripture is, one verse is complete for everything. You see? So this is good, very nice. All the best to you. And also one more thing, that as you must have completed teaching the Krishna's Kids program for the Chatushlokya Bhagavad Gita. Okay, try Chatushlokya Bhagavatam also, And very importantly, we must now teach all the children Sri Brahma Samhita,
Yes, Prabhuji.
including our children. It is so important that our children, once they know to recite this, every day they must recite once Sri Brahma Samhita. Okay? Please try and do so and teach them one time. So you were saying something? You're already doing this, Brahma Samhita?
No, Prabhuji, I just finished the Shikshashtakam and I was about to call Mataji or you to ask what if I can start the Brahma Samhita or what is the next one.
Yeah.
So, yes, Prabhuji.
So Bhagavatam seed verse is also very important.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah.
But we have to very quickly come to Brahma Samhita. So Bhagavad Gita seed verses first. Shikshashtakam is very important with it. Okay.
Yes.
Then Srimad Bhagavatam seed verses for English also. English and Sanskrit and English. And then Sri Brahma Samhita. Let them go whole translation for whole Sanskrit for now. And then you can add English also afterwards.
Sure.
Once they know Sanskrit, translation of Brahma Samhita, then it is their life treasure. Every day they wake up in the morning, they can see Brahma Samhita and do their work. For children should be done. It's very, very important. Yeah, please. It will be a great service to Srila Prabhupada. And Mahasaya Goswami will be so happy that we are serving Srila Prabhupada like this in the mood, Brahma Samhita with it, With all the Chatusloki of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma Samhita, Shikshashtakam, very good. Hari Bol.
I will also learn, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I will also remember with them. So,
Many Mahasaya Goswami used to tell me, "Hey man, Ambrish, what is this, man? You don't know, your son knows." I said, "Yes, I understood this. Duffer, it's complete duffer." How come he knows and you do not know? I said, "Yes, it's like this only." So you will learn. This is the reason why we say preaching is for us to learn, not for teaching people. I'm telling you, this is an example of it. Is it not so?
yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah, that's why we're preaching. Otherwise, we'll be sleeping at home. Sunday, Saturday, very busy, we're not sleeping, very busy, something else, something this, something that. But we won't pick up the phone, we won't pick up the book. Once in a while we may do, but very nice. All the best. This will help you, your family, everybody. Even Navina will also very nice to be there. She become a leader, let her become a leader. So let her teach. Is she around? Where is she?
She's here, Prabhuji.
She also wants to be a teacher, huh? Navina, you want to become a teacher?
Good.
Yeah? Become a teacher for Krishna's case. Yes?
A little bit.
Oh. Hare Krishna. All right? So wonderful. Help your mother and become teacher like this. All right? All the best to you. All glories. Bhadarante. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear, please. Mataji, do you want to go first?
You give first.
Please, Mataji, you can go ahead. You can wait. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Madhuri, please continue.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, all the devotees for your association here. And thank you.
First of all, how's the weather there now? You got adjusted to the weather? Summertime with mangoes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Lots and lots of mangoes this year here. and we are enjoying all sorts of mangoes.
All sorts of mangoes.
Different
Here also we are enjoying, but we are crying also, One mango is for $10, Now everything has become cheap now. How much cheap it has become?
So $50.
Also $5 mango, one mango.
Okay.
It's not cheap. 250 rupees. 250 rupees, one mango. I still cry. She doesn't cry. So I actually worship mango for morning, and then I quietly say, "Please, Krishna, have it," and I have a little bit one at a time. Hare Krishna. Please continue.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving this platform to us to share our realizations here. And as we know that we are celebrating, we are actually giving realizations today for Lord Narsimhadev appearance day. So Lord Narsimhadev appearance day ki jai. So as we have heard from so many devotees already, their stories and different realizations here. And that we know that Lord Narsimhadev appeared from the pillar to keep his devotees' words and killed Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu was not ready to hear about the Lord at all. And was forcing Prahlad Maharaj to accept him as the God. He was posing himself as the controller of the universes. And he was really very powerful. He was controlling the demigods and that then this in his ego he was thinking he is the supreme. And when Hiranyakashipu was killed, still Lord Narsimhadev was very angry because he was actually trying to kill his devotee, and Narsimhadev, as we know that Lord always protects his devotees. So when Narsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, and no one, because of his very angry mood, no demigods or even Lakshmi Devi was ready to go near him because they were very afraid of him. And then Lord Brahma actually says that Prahlad Maharaj should go there and pacify the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj, because he is not fearful at all, because he knows that Narsimhadev is just here as his Lord and he's protecting him, and he's pure devotee of the Lord. So he goes there and Narsimhadev puts his hand and blesses on his head and blesses him. And then Prahlad Maharaj prays. There are lots and lots of prayers by Prahlad Maharaj. So there is one verse which I would like to share here. So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, chapter 9, verse 25. Putra shisha shruti sukha mriga trishnirupa kvedam kalevaram shesharujam viroha nirvidyate natu jano yadpiti vidvan Kamanalam madhulavai shamayan durapai. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. In this material world, every living entity desires some future happiness, which is exactly like a mirage in the desert. Where is water in the desert? Or in other words, where is happiness in this material world? As for this body, what is its value? It is merely a source of various diseases. The so-called philosophers, scientists, and politicians know this very well. But nonetheless, they aspire for temporary happiness. Happiness is very difficult to obtain. But because they are unable to control their senses, they run after the so-called happiness of the material world and never come to the right conclusion. So, so when we read this verse and the realization which I got from this verse is that we are always trying to get happiness in this world. And before coming to Krishna consciousness, always got frustrated because we wanted to obtain something. Once we obtain it, then we are frustrated and we never knew why it's happening. And then once you come in Krishna consciousness, then you realize what is the reason for the unhappiness and why we are not getting that happiness, because we are utilizing materialistic things or material, or even this body for just for our enjoyment, not for Krishna's enjoyment. And we are created for Krishna's enjoyment, to serve him. It's nothing that we are independent. We are always dependent on Krishna. And that is the reason for the unhappiness. It's very nice word here, putra ashisha, benedictions, because Krishna has given so many benedictions to us, and because we are utilizing everything just for our happiness, that's why we are unhappy. And once we know that with the mercy of all the Vaishnavas, that if we have got everything and we utilize it in the service of Krishna, then the happiness comes, the true happiness which we can feel. And the other thing is that our human body is also utilized perfectly. So also when there was when we were discussing Bhagavad Gita on Wednesday, and there was verse, just a minute, Bhagavad Gita chapter 11 and verse 21, where this belongs when, because everyone was very much afraid when Narsimhadeva was angry there and he appeared. So also we could resonate with the verse which we read in Bhagavad Gita. So this was Ami tvam surasangya vishanti kechid bita pranjalayo grananti swasti ti uttva maharshi siddha sangha stuvanti tvam stutibhi pushkalabhi. All the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings, crying all peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. So this is the verse from the Bhagavad Gita chapter, which is universal form of Krishna, when he shows his universal form, and it's so fearful for everyone because of its magnanimity. So also we discussed that fear is missing in the spiritual world. And that's the reason Prahlad Maharaj is already, because he is a devotee and he is already in spiritual world, although he is in material world. That's why he is not fearful at all. And all the demigods and others are afraid of his ferocious lion appearance. So that's what I could relate to this verse from Bhagavad Gita, which we discussed, I think, 2 weeks ago. If we are fearful to get abhaya in this world, if we are connected to Krishna, then we feel that there is no fear at all. If we feel that, if we have that faith, then we can do anything here. Every service we can do here, just to utilize our human birth. And I think that is the goal of the life. So that was my realization on this special occasion. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear. Thank you very much for your nice realization. I just want to quickly say to Avinash Krishna Prabhu and Namrata Mataji about the children's programs. I was just remembering that Srila Gurudev used to say, you teach the children, then you don't have to worry about the parents, because they will start asking all the questions and the right questions, and then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to preach to the parents, just preach to the children, and everything will be taken care of. So just remember that. And as rightly said, Namrata Mataji remembered the Pradhan Gopika Mataji also, and then you yourself also. I think the best quality was that all the children liked the teachers, and so that way they were engaged. So they wanted to be in the class. So I think that's all credit to all the teachers. Hare Krishna. So I'll just quickly give my realization as well. I have certain points. I'm just going to make some points, and then I will quote some verses also. So I remember the first thing I remember is, as a child, we've always, as everyone has mentioned, we've always heard about the story of Prahlad Maharaj, who was just a 5-year-old boy, and he was a son of Hiranyakashipu, and that he was the best devotee of the Lord. And I remember my introduction was through this stories that I heard. And then when, as a child, told by my grandfather to read the Bhagavad Gita. And in this chapter where Krishna is mentioning, I'm the best among the demons. I'm the best among the demons is Prahlad Maharaj. So he's the best devotee. So I remember that, and that stayed with me all the time, that okay, so Prahlad Maharaj is the best devotee of the Lord, and that was something that always stayed with me. And we're very fond of the stories of Prahlad Maharaj. So that was one point I wanted to make. The second point I wanted to make was, then we were in Rajkot, and Srila Gurudev was giving Srimad Bhagavatam class, and at that time this point came about in 7th canto, 10th chapter, when Hiranyakashipu is killed, and then Lord Narsimhadeva is mercifully bestowing, he wants to give him his blessings. And Prahlad Maharaj says, I remember Srila Gurudev saying that Prahlad Maharaj says that, my dear Lord, please don't worry about me. Like, I do not want any material opulences, desires. I don't have any. And I only wish that my father, who doesn't understand your position and thinks that you have killed his brother and has been inimical towards you, please forgive him. And then Srila Gurudev mentioned this, that can you imagine anyone saying, please, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, please do not worry about me. And that point was the second point that struck me, that what is the position? Just a 5-year-old boy, just every time we think of Prahlad Maharaj, it's great that he's a great devotee and he's gone through all. But then I always remind myself after that, he was just a 5-year-old boy. And that makes the whole difference for me personally, because I feel I am 5 multiplied by 10 times or even more, and not even a fraction of that consciousness. I always feel like that for myself. So that is the second point that I wanted to make, which has always struck me and stayed with me. And the third point I wanted to make was that, which I think my Prabhuji also mentioned, is that Lord Krishna comes to the material world to perform his pastimes for the pleasure of his devotees and not for killing the demons. I mean, killing the demons is a part of the act, but for that he can send his representatives. Anybody can do it. but the real reason is for the pleasure of the devotees. And that was the point that also always stayed with me. And the fourth point, again, also, which my Prabhuji mentioned, was about Prahlad Maharaj giving the credit to Narad Muni. And because the verse that I'm going to quote also mentions about what are we supposed to do? What is in it for me? We are all hearing the glories of Prahlad Maharaj. And then it's very nice to hear that. But then our Hare Krishna Wecan, as led by Srila Gurudev His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, is always about practical implementation of Bhagavatam. So how do you practically implement it? What do you do for that? So this fourth point, that the credit is always given to the Guru, the spiritual master, and our teachers, whoever have taught us. We have seen Srila Gurudev doing that, always giving the credit to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada always giving the credit to his spiritual master. So that is the parampara, and that is how we should behave. So now I'll just quickly quote the words. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 10, and verse 21. Bhavanti purusha loke madbhaktasvam anuvritaha bhavan me khalu bhaktanam sarvesham pratirupadre. I'll go to the translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those who follow your example will naturally become my pure devotees. You are the best example of my devotee, and others should follow in your footsteps. And the purport is very small, so I'm just going to read it. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this connection, Srila Madhavacharya quotes a verse from the Skanda Puran. Dite tu tutvigun devan naradadim stataivacha praharadaduttamah kono Vishnu bhaktau jagatraye. There are many devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they have been enumerated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3, verse 20 as follows. Swayambhur Narada Shambho Kumara Kapilo Manu Prahlado Janako Bhishmo Balirvayar Sakirvayam. Of the 12 authorized devotees, Lord Brahma, Narad, Lord Shiva, Kapila, Manu, and so on, Prahlad Maharaj is understood to be the best example. So, as mentioned also earlier by other devotees, that Prahlad Maharaj is one of the 12 Mahajans, and we have to follow in the footsteps of the Mahajans, to follow their example. And how we do that is by understanding how they led their lives and implement that ourselves. So I'm just going to read very quickly. I'm just going to read the translations from text 6 onwards on the same chapter, because it's very nectarian, and then I'll just have a quick realization of that as well. So this is from the 6th text, Canto 7, Chapter 10. O my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant, and you are my eternal master. There is no need of our being anything other than master and servant. You are naturally my master, and I am naturally your servant. We have no other relationship. O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. O my Lord, because of lusty desires from the very beginning of one's birth, the functions of one's senses, mind, life, body, religion, patience, intelligence, shyness, opulence, strength, memory, and truthfulness are vanquished. O my Lord, when a human being is able to give up all the material desires in his mind, he becomes eligible to possess wealth and opulence like yours. So here in the Papat Srila Prabhupada talks about the master and the servant are different yet equal in opulence. Achinta Veda Veda Abheda Tattva. This is the meaning of simultaneously different from the Supreme Lord and oneness with him. Further, O my Lord, full of six opulences, O Supreme Person, O Supreme Soul, killer of all miseries, O Supreme Person in the form of a wonderful lion and man, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So when Prahlad Maharaj said, has requested Lord Narsimhadev that he does not desire, he desires no material, he doesn't desire any material opulences. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Prahlad, a devotee like you never desires any kind of material opulences, either in this life or in the next. Nonetheless, I order you to enjoy the opulences of the demons in this material world, acting as their king until the end of the duration of time occupied by Manu. It does not matter that you are in the material world. You should always continuously hear the instructions and messages given by me, and always be absorbed in thought of me, for I am the super soul existing in the core of everyone's heart. Therefore, give up fruitive activities and worship me. So found this instruction very, very important by Lord Narsimhadev. So it does not matter that you are in the material world. And sometimes, as devotees, we all desire to go back to Godhead. And we might get into a position of discomfort in this material world, which is very good, that we realize that we do not belong to this material world. But sometimes we may get into the state of trying to get away from this and treat it not as a reality or whatever. So here the instruction is that even while living in this material world, if your state of consciousness is such, then you can detach yourself from the material world and attach yourself to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In that way, you can not belong here, so to speak, as in the consciousness. And then this is the last one. My dear Prahlad, while you are in this material world, you will exhaust all the reactions of pious activity by feeling happiness, and by acting piously, you will neutralize impious activity. Because of the powerful time factor, you will give up your body, but the glories of your activities will be sung in the upper planetary systems. And being fully freed from all bondage, you will return home back to Godhead. And one who always remembers your activities and my activities also, and who chants the prayers you have offered, becomes free in due course of time from the reactions of material activities. So there's a very important factor here that Srila Prabhupada has introduced Lord Narsimhadev prayers as daily prayers. And Srila Prabhupada has also instructed that in my absence, you can take the shelter of Lord Narsimhadev. So it's very, very powerful. I remember that even at the time of when there were difficulties in the time of building of temples and difficulties created, then Srila Prabhupada has taken the shelter of the prayers of Lord Narsimhadev. So they are very, very powerful, and we all have experienced that. So my realization today stands upon this, that in somehow or the other, by the association of all you wonderful devotees in this lifetime, we would be able to follow even a fraction of the wonderful qualities and consciousness of Bhakta Prahlad. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Is there anyone remaining from the religious Sangha to speak? We'll wait for 10 more seconds for any leaders want to speak again. Any points? Please feel free. Before, I would like to give some very important information announcement from now. Thank you. We'll wait for 10 more seconds. Please feel free.